संकीर्तन की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद ब्रजराज के चरे स्तोत्र श्रृंगी सभी चरणारविंद भक्तवृंद श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद ब्रजराज के चरे स्तोत्र श्रृंगी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद ब्रजराज के चरे स्तोत्र श्रृंगी श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। राधा गोविंद भगवान गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजो श्री नाम धाम की जय। मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथ धाम की जय। कृष्ण भक्त वृंदावन तुलसीमरान की जय। समेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंद। All glories to Simon Lord Sri Krishna. All glories to Simon Lord Sri Krishna. All glories to Simon Lord Sri Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय विष्णुभक्तवेदान्त स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वती गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे विशेषणादि पश्चात् दीक्षितार। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्री सदैव गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। परमानंद माधव श्री चैतन्येश्वरम। Can everyone hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So last week we were saying actually the 9 types of devotional service, starting with Shravanam. Maharaj Parikshit attained perfection by hearing process. Sukadeva Goswami attained perfection by speaking the glories of the Lord, Kirtanam. Kirtanam actually, one devotee said, all this devotees should know this. What is that? Hare Krishna movement is based on Yuga Dharma. What is Yuga Dharma? Harinam Sankirtan. Where devotees come together and enthusiastically listen. Devotees come together enthusiastically chant the holy name, enthusiastically perform the kirtan. There is Krishna will be very pleased and Krishna will give the results. So devotees should come together and do kirtan. Kirtan of course includes glorifying Nam Rupa Guna Lila, no doubt. But Hare Krishna mantra is Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yuga Avatar. When devotees come together and chant, then the results will manifest. It may take a couple of years, but results will come. New York City, I see 20 brahmacharis because it did not happen day one. Ram Rai Prabhu went through so many troubles to establish. About 10 years of hard labor. Recently, they celebrate 10 years of Harinam. Every day, 3 to 7. 3 to 7 for 10 years. For years, he did not have a place. Then they stayed with the Bhakti Center. I really do not know what happened. It didn't work out. Then they stayed in Yugadharma Ashram. It didn't work out. Then they came to Brooklyn Temple. Then it didn't work out. Finally, after 10 years, there are 20 brahmacharis. 15, 20. So people should come together. So Maya, people should come and evening kirtan should happen in our temple. One devotee by name Devakinandan Prabhu, he told me this. He's actually ISKCON fundraising ministry. He told me he never missed a morning program, he never missed evening program for 40 years. I mean, unless if he's there in the city, he'll come. He's not coming means he's not there in the city. You know, what is that? For that, his results are amazing. So Krishna will watch. Krishna will wait. Then Krishna will give the results. So though so many problems, Prahlad Maharaj always remember Krishna. And eventually attain perfection. Yeah? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, not somebody else. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. It is Krishna's Kirtanam, Krishna's remembrance. Not Kali Kirtan purposes. It's only Krishna. And is remembering Krishna only. Akrura offering prayers is only Krishna. Offering prayers to Krishna. Worshipping Lord's lotus feet. This includes serving devotees, visiting the holy places. Who has attained perfection? Lakshmi ji. And puja, deity worship. Prithu Maharaj attained perfection. And deity worship. And Hanuman ji, service attitude. Rendering service to Krishna in a very humble and menial way. Hanuman ji attained perfection. Arjuna made friendship with Krishna and attained perfection. Bali Maharaj, he attained perfection by following all the 9 processes. Actually, if anybody wants to really attain perfection, they should follow the example of Ambarish Maharaj. Always he meditated on Krishna's lotus feet. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. Vacham se vaikunta gunanvanani. Always he used his mouth to glorify Vaikunta. If you don't read books, what you will talk? I'm honest with you, when I travel, or even with devotees, I have to speak their language. Their language means, how are you doing? How are your children? How is your job? And not even one time, okay, what did you read? How is sadhana? How is Bhagavatam? Which I didn't understand this. So when you read, you'll get doubts. When you don't read, no doubts. It means devotees don't read. It means they become weak. Yes or no? Then where is that? Then a problem will come. Before the problem comes, we have become weak and we have given room to Maya. Everyone is listening or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you please mute?
So actually, you can take the flyer. You can register, scan the barcode. Yeah, you can.
So, Vachas Vaikunta Guna, always it's about the glories of Vaikunta. Wow, Vaikunta means he's saying Vaikunta actually. You glorify Vaikunta. If you don't glorify Vaikunta, you'll glorify Disneyland. You have to glorify somebody. He would use his floor, he would use his hands to mop the floor. Karor Hare Mandir Marchanashu. He would use his ears to hear Krishna Katha. If not, you'll hear gossip only. They are like that, these are like that, these are like that, they are like that. We should never hear ill of devotees. That will create what? Groupism. That is bad. The ego is there to whatever you want or whatever you keep, whatever you are attached to. If you have a feeling of losing, ego will come. False ego immediately is activated. You see, perceive other person as your enemy. In fact, they may not even think like that, but you think like that. The moment that is the ego. Ego is like a warrior. Whatever you think you own it, whatever what is that? Are you attached to? If you feel you're set to losing it, you may not lose it, but the feeling that you may lose it, immediately will become defensive. And you'll see that other person as enemy. In the college days, boyfriends and girlfriends, if a boyfriend has a girlfriend and another boyfriend starts talking to her, ooh, this guy cannot take it. If you extrapolate the same thing in any devotional life or family life, whatever you own it, when you other person is trying to encroach that, you become upset for sure. How many of you agree?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And then one day death will come and take everything, you are no longer connected. So not like that. So that's why, we should either speak glory good about Vaikuntha or don't speak, read Bhagavatam. Be Krishna conscious or Maya conscious. Hiramud Krishna, Sritim Chakaratya Satkatoti. Drink, you satisfy your tongue by drinking Charanamrit. And, Tadbritya Gatra, Sparsing Sangamam. Use your word to embrace devotees. Yes, I forgot the other lines, Kama Kamaya. Eduttam Sloka Janasrayarati. So Ambrish Maharaj gives how to control the solution for controlling the mind. But he perfected all the 9. Bali Maharaj, when he was tested, he gave everything to Krishna. He tested, he gave everything to Krishna. Choice is ours. When Krishna takes everything from you, it's called karma. When you give everything to Krishna, it's called bhakti. You agree or not? Everything is taken away. From everybody. Beauty is taken away. And forget about beauty, body is taken away. Body is taken away. But before that, if you give to devotee, if you give it to Krishna, it's called bhakti. If Krishna takes it, it's called karma. Choice is yours. Yes, sir. So, in the previous chapters, what is that? Do you remember Varnashrama Dharma? I am a Brahmana. That's not a qualification. Varnashrama Dharma is not a qualification. And you have knowledge and renunciation, that is also not qualification. But of course, you get strength. That's what we discussed. Right? How many of you remember we discussed this last week? Before last week, I think. Last week there was no class. Right? So, anyway, today onwards, very interesting. This is Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is 2 types. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Ragana Sadhana Bhakti. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means, I want to go back to Godhead. But the problem is I have so many material desires. What's the problem? So my mind wants a sense enjoyment, not bhakti. All right, regulate, train yourself. The 14 chapters they're all about training yourself. Slowly. Okay, I don't want to go. Time is 4:30. I don't want to go to Mangalarti. No, get up. We have to go to Mangalarti. I want to eat outside. No, you have to eat only prasad. If you want to attend the love of God, you want to Krishna Prema. I want you associate with devotees only. Chant your rounds. Ekadasi more rounds. Time is running out. So likewise, ABCD association, chanting the holy name, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, eating prasad only. So if you keep on doing that, slowly mind will transfer. You will be Krishna conscious, slowly but steadily. How many of you saw that yourself? 10 years ago, you were different, now you are different. 10 years ago what you were, now what you are different or not. How many of you agree in the online or outside? You agree? So
Yes, Prabhuji.
so what to do, Carlin only? All right, I have to do this. So Krishna, what Krishna did is slowly transferred your consciousness towards him. You're attracted to Krishna. So if sometimes you go to India and your family members they start talking Prajalpa, I'm not interested. You know this experience? You know? And my great grandfather's cousin is in Australia and he'll tell all the stories. But earlier you were listening, you know, or your ancestors, how they were working very hard and how they built the empire. No, not interested. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions this actually. As you make progress, your desire to listen Prajalpa goes down. And they think you're really changed. Did did you all experience or not? If families, they're all devotees, that is nectar, because you'll talk about Krishna only. If they're karmakandis, they're pious, no doubt. If they're karmakandis, 50-50 devotees, then the problem. They don't understand your nature. What happened to him? Everything all right? Everything is normal. Why you have changed so much? Is Hare Krishna sir like that? Pakad liya unko. Anyone said like that to you? From Silas Prabhu? No. They don't know you're reading Nectar of Devotion. They don't know you want to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada, one day Prabhupada was giving lecture. Nobody wants our organization. Nobody wants this movement. Still we are going forward. New centers are opening. Causeless mess of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhupada lifted his head. Everyone is sleeping in the lecture. Prabhupada said, that is a fact. Badrinaran Prabhu, now Badrinaran Maharaj, he says that. And Prabhupada was telling, audience were also sleeping. So bhakti is like, what is that? Like a creeper. If you are there, from there bhakti grows from your heart. And bhakti will go to other parts. One day our Kada, what is his name? Bhakti Shri Madhu Maharaj said, he was going to Mumbai. Mumbai, there is no place. It's a, what is that? Concrete jungle, everywhere concrete only. Walls, buildings, like New York City. And there, this is a filthy place. Dogs were urinating, people were passing stool. There in one corner, Tulsi plants. So he went and asked Tulsi Maharani. Maharaj has so much love for Tulsi. Mother, why did you appear? What is the reason? There is bhakti, someone has bhakti, or you want to give bhakti? What is this? Actually, 3 months ago, I went to Kerala actually. I went to Kerala for treatment. This home was filled with tulsis only. This hospital surroundings. Kerala is filled with trees, right? Then I saw one day, the dog lifted the leg and urinating on tulsi. I said, wow, anybody who comes to this world, they have to go through suffering only. Lord Ram went through a lot of suffering. Krishna also, the transcendental suffering, separation from God, from his dear Rajavasis. So, what is that? So Tulsi comes to this world, she has to go through. Can you imagine? Dog is urinating. On the pathway itself, some people, they just, they're taking the buckets, knocking Tulsi out. So that is the nature of this world. So we should utilize this world to purify, cleanse. We should not take things seriously. Forgive and forget and go forward. What is that? That's it. So 15th chapter is a Ragatmika. So over a period of time, you start, Vaidi Bhakti, I'll come. Slowly you train yourself. After some time, what happens? Without your knowledge, your consciousness changes. One day, one devotee asked this question to Radhana Swami in Gita Nagari. You talk about Haridas Thakur, you talk about Suklambar Brahmachari, you talk about, what is that? What is the name of that Prabhu? Cultivates Sridhar. It's very painful because year after year after year, he has the same impurities. They just stare at you. It's very frustrating to hear this. He said, without your knowledge, one day you're lifted. Without your knowledge, you don't even know. Just continue doing it. Continue doing Vaidhi Bhakti. Over a period of time, your consciousness will be lifted. Without even your knowledge, you will be lifted. So, like in a child trying to walk, falling down, trying to walk, falling down. We all do not even know. We struggled one time, right? You agree or not? We do not even know we struggled. How many of you remember? Remember? Maybe you remember your children struggling. You remember? I don't know whether you remember that all also. Get up, get up, get up, get up. He's slowly get up. Get up. Today people run. So likewise, the bhakti training is also, so it's Vaidhi Bhakti, Mangalarti jana hai, nahi jana hai, then, okay, program, when will the program end, when will Pradel Sarva Prasad, suddenly one day, Haribol, that will happen, but we need to be sincere. You're listening or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Like marriage, first 2 years, it will be very enthusiasm, so much enthusiasm. After that, I don't know, touching a wrong subject actually. So, no, we need to continue. That's the point I'm making, No matter what, you need to continue. That's the point. So, Ragatmika Bhakti. What is that? Spontaneous. In Vaidhi Bhakti, mind resists. In Ragatmika Bhakti, mind is, can you do this service? Sorry, Ball, I can do it. Can you do this? Yes. That's what I'm here for. Attachment of residents of Vrindavan for Krishna. It's called spontaneous. Raganaga means spontaneous. Raga Bhakti embodies perfection of spontaneous love for Krishna. No? There is no question of if and but. Yes, I can do it. My everything, my body, mind, and words are steeped in love for Krishna. Ragatmika sadhana bhakti, Ragatmika sadhana bhakti means is the practice of devotee who aspires to develop a devotional mood of Ragatmika bhakti. So you want to attain that, but you are not there yet. What is the difference between Ragatmika bhakti and Ragatmika sadhana bhakti? You are doing sadhana to attain that. Means you need to be more intense. No, there's no, can you do this? Oh yes, I'll do it. So when Prabhupada would come to any city, Prabhupada would come to Los Angeles. All the devotees would go to airport. But Jayanand Prabhu would tell, don't worry, I'll do your service. Why you are not going? No, I have service. I'll do your service. Go and see, receive Prabhupada. Oh. One day, thousands of devotees were dancing. Prabhupada said, where is Jayananda? Wow, that's a perfection, And many times I mentioned, when people sleep in the Bhagavatam class, Prabhupada would chastise it. One day, Jayanand Prabhu was sleeping in the Bhagavatam class. Prabhupada said, shh, don't disturb him. Wow, that is great. That's a perfection, actually. So, the sadhana to attain Ragatmika Bhakti is called Ragatmika Sadhana Bhakti. So, what is the main criteria of Ragatmika Bhakti? Ragatmika Bhakti is spontaneous, very spontaneous and very devotional, but only one goal, pleasing Krishna. Today we try to please our senses, we try to please our mind, try to please our ego. मैंने किया, I did this. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, that's a very wonderful thing, 7th canto it is mentioned. Kama snehad bhayad krodhat. So gopis have a spontaneous attraction for Krishna in the mood of kama. And Kamsa has a spontaneous connection with Krishna out of fear. Shishupal, he may, he what is that? Shishupal always meditated on Krishna because of envy. And Yadu sort of family attraction, family relationship. Sneha. Pandavas, friendship. Yadu's Pandavas Sneha, Yadu's sort of a familial relationship, Kutumba, So because Krishna being absolute, actually when Shishupal during Rajaswa Yajna, when what is his name? Bhishma proposed, everybody agreed. For to worship Krishna, to put Krishna on the throne and worship, Agra Puja. Up to that point, nobody said anything. Shishupal didn't say anything. But when Krishna was put on the throne, then Shishupal started blaspheming. Envy. If he could have told, no, Krishna should not be there. No, then he cannot scold, right? He has 100, he can scold Krishna 100 times. So he allowed all these things to happen. But then when they put Krishna on the throne and about to worship, then Shishupal started blaspheming. That is envy. Can you believe when you are envious of somebody, you'll think of them. What are they doing right now? You have a friend, he gets 2 marks over you, or you get 2 marks over him. So there is always a competition. You have your childhood experiences, right? Kaise pad rahe abhi right now? I pray that he sleeps. Right? So then we think of them. That is envy. But if you are envious of anybody, that's a bad thing. But Krishna is above 3 modes. Krishna is absolute. Even if you think of Krishna in whichever way, good way or bad way, it works. Good way or bad way, works. So all had the same destination. And now definitely not possible. But yeah, Shishupal, Krishna immediately cut off the head of Shishupal. As Bruno was watching, Shishupal's soul went and merged in Krishna's body. That is the seed for Narsingha Chaturdasi pastime. This guy is envious, he is liberated. My Lord, what is this? The topic starts, Supreme Lord is partial or impartial. If you know anything, you develop that, connect with Krishna. You want to meditate on Krishna. You're lusty, be lusty for Krishna. You're scared, be scared of Krishna. You want to make friendship, make friendship with Krishna. So anything you do with Krishna, your result is, because Krishna is absolute, you'll attain ultimate perfection. But there is a slight difference. What is the difference? Kamsa's worship and Shishupal worship is pratikula. Bhakti is anukula, favorably. But Kamsa's meditation and Shishupal meditation is not in a favorable way. It's against. That's why they merged in Krishna's effulgence. They merged in Krishna's effulgence. So going to America is different from going to Washington President's Palace, right? Yes or no? So Kamsa and Shishupal, they merged in Krishna's effulgence, but Gopis, Yadus, and Pandavas, they went back to Godhead. That difference is there. You remember? What are the 3 words? Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So you worship Brahman and Paramatma, you will merge in effulgence only. But if you worship God as Bhagavan, Krishna, then you will go back to Godhead. What is the problem merging in Krishna's effulgence? Anybody? What is wrong with merging in Krishna's effulgence?
We have to fall down.
Who said that?
Prabhuji, me.
We cannot serve Krishna, Prabhuji. We won't be able to serve him.
Who is that?
Devi Rasika, Devi Rasika.
Prabhuji, that is Mayavad, right? Prabhuji, when we are trying to merge with Krishna, that's Mayavad philosophy.
Yeah, these all the three are right. First thing is, the first one is Sagar, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, what did you say?
Prabhuji, will again fall back to material world.
Even if you merge in Krishna's effulgence, because you don't have faith on the lotus feet of Krishna, you will fall down. This verse is there in 10th canto, spoken by Brahma. Very important to remember. That's first important. Second statement, actually, because in India, I go home sometimes, or this is a great yogi, that's a great yogi. So what? What is the greatest use of great yogi? They may meditate 6 hours, 10 hours. Even they have attained Brahman also. And you are struggling to chant your 16 rounds. Who is better? Everybody. Huh?
Struggling to chant 16 rounds.
Yeah, devotees are better, right? Because what happens? You will merge in Brahman, after some time you will fall down. Million years later. They may have mystic powers also. They may create ashes in the air also. No. Ye anye arvendaksha vimukta manana tvayashta bhava devasuddha buddhe aruhi kruchyena paranpatantada patanti adhona drushti asmadangriya. I'm honest with you, all these Mayavadis, they don't know this verse. Why? It is given in the Bhagavatam, quoted by Srila Prabhupada, n number of times, quoted by Lord Chaitanya also. You're all listening? They have some good karma, these Mayavadis and Brahmavadis, whatever, these Jnanis and Yogis. They may have so many followers. ISKCON put together, we may not have that much. But they will fall down. Who said this verse? Brahma. I mean, if you have good karma, definitely, why not? If you have good karma, you'll have beauty. If you have good karma, you have so much money. If you have good karma, you have preaching ability. You have good karma, you'll have money, so many followers. But it has nothing to do with bhakti. How many of you agree? Yes or no? Bhakti is bhakti. Swarup Shakti, Radharani has to manifest. Radharani will not manifest if it is only Bhogonmukha Sukriti. What is the difference between Mokshonmukha Sukriti, Bhogonmukha Sukriti and Bhaktonmukha Sukriti? Anybody who will answer? Huh? What is the difference? Bhogonmukha Sukriti, pious activity you have done in the past, which will facilitate a bhoga, sense enjoyment for you. You'll have good body, you have good money, beauty, relationships, health. What is it called? Bhoga Unmukhi Sukriti, Bhogonmukhi Sukriti. What is Mokshonmukhi Sukriti? If you have that Sukriti, you will merge in Brahman effulgence. And what is Bhaktanmukhi Sukriti? If you have this Sukriti, you will have Bhakti, which is eternal. So, Brahman, like a sunlight and sun globe, they are same thing. Sunlight and sun globe, they are same thing. But they are different also. Sunlight is all pervasive, Brahman is all pervasive. But Krishna, sun globe, or Surya Narayan, the deity, predominating deity of the sun planet, is there. So the comparison is between Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan actually. Sunlight, sun globe, and Surya Narayan. So I'll have a small question. So Sachidananda, what is there in Brahman realization? Out of the three? Anybody?
Sat, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Sat.
Sat, who is this?
Nayan Sundari Devi Dasi.
3 times Hari Bol to Nayan Sundari Mataji.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Yes, Brahman has Sat feature. Eternity. But there is no Ananda. Then you say Brahmananda, what is that Brahmananda? Like, you have fever for 20 days. Suddenly you recover. How are you feeling? Amazing. Why fever is gone? That is not happiness. That is relief of distress. That is Brahmananda. Your suffering is gone. 3 modes are not working on you. Mind is not giving trouble. You are purified. What is it called? Brahmananda. Then what is there in Paramatma realization?
Sat and Chit, Prabhuji.
Sat and Chit. No, eternity is there, knowledge is there. But Paramatma will not reciprocate with you. Happiness comes from loving exchange. And what is there in Bhagavan relation? Sat-Chit, Sat-Chitta Ananda also. Happiness comes from loving relationships with Bhagavan. Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Where do you hear this word? The first lesson of Nectar devotion. Okay, you'll go and merge in the Brahman. You look around, everything white only. Suddenly you remember America. December month, so much snow. Here also, it's not snow, but all white only. Right? Actually, what's his name? Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj said, why we cannot be happy in Brahman? That is not our nature. Our nature is to serve. Our nature is to serve. So you say, I am God. Krishna will not even look at you. Yes or no? So what is your connection to temple? Anybody? Oh, Krishna is my friend. Will the temple president allow you? Yeah.
Seva, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Seva is the connection, Prabhuji.
Who said
Service.
that?
Devi Mataji, Prabhuji.
Devi Mata 3 times Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Seva is the
Hari Bol.
connection. Very good. I told one person who has a Mayavadi tendency. Your connection with God is service. Ram, nice meeting you. We're good friends. Ram does not look at you at all. And then Hanuman says, what is your service to Ram? I am friend. Then chale jao, you need to serve. Right? Temple president will not allow you. Hey, what is your service? What is your servant? I am good friends with Krishna. All right. Come eat Sunday fish and go. Do we entertain them? Whether Krishna will entertain or there is a difference. We will not entertain. So, Shishupal and Kamsa, actually Nectar devotion says, but I read differently actually. Anyway, Nectar devotion, they both merged in Brahman effulgence. Means what? They'll come back again. Right? Right? So 10th canto, 87th chapter, 23rd verse. It is telling. Vedas are telling, my Lord, we don't want to follow the footsteps of Shishupal. We want to follow the footsteps of gopis. We have attained your we have attained your causeless mercy. So, what is very important in Raganuga Bhakti, is Ragatmika Bhakti? Favorable Bhakti should be, what is Puttam Bhakti? Anukulyena, favorably disposed. What is that? Favorably. Not even, actually one time one person wrote, pleasing to Krishna. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur said no. Anukulyena means favorable. Because Mushtika was beating Krishna. And Krishna, because finally I found some match. Krishna is liking it. So Mushtika and Chanur fighting is both pure bhakti or what? Everyone is listening. So Anukulyana means keep whether Krishna is pleased or not. It should be favorably towards Krishna. One day Krishna was crying, my mother, she's giving so much trouble. She bound me with the ropes. So Yashoda Bhakti is Uttama Bhakti or not? Krishna is pained here. Krishna is pained. My mother bound me here, he's telling monkeys. Krishna is not happy. But still it is Uttama Bhakti. Why? Yashoda did it for the welfare of Krishna. Mushtika is beating Krishna and Krishna is finding happiness. Still it is bad. It is not pure Bhakti, Uttama Bhakti. Because Mushtika and Chandar were not performing pure devotional service. Yashoda bound Krishna and Krishna was unhappy. Still it is pure devotional service. You guys are understanding or not? This difference. So what is Bhakti? Anukulyena, not Pratikula. Everyone understanding? Listening? Clear, right? Now, Ragatmika Bhakti is two types. Sensual attraction or relationship. Pandavas and Yadus, they have a relationship. What is that? Relationship they have. But the gopis, Kama Rupa. Actually, there is no word. First of all, please understand, everyone. Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. Annamaya, what are the 5 stages of consciousness?
Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya.
What's that? Who is this?
Devi Mataji.
Amazing, you're wonderful. 3 times are able to Devi Mataji. Haribol. Yes. So Krishna is above that. Parabrahman, Supreme Brahman, Anandamaya. So Krishna is Anandamaya, Supreme, Supreme Brahman. So above that. So gopis like Krishna, Radharani is internal energy. They have that, there is an exchange. So we should not try to bring them on our Annamaya platform. We know what happened. We don't know. What is the problem of this world? Maithunakara. That is not what is happening. That is not what is happening there. Understanding? Then why are they calling it Kamarupa? Kamarupa means, this is given, we get the slightest hint of the intensity of Gopi's desire to serve Krishna. Kama means that much desire they have to serve Krishna. But with not even a tiny desire to enjoy. Wow. Prabhupada, everything for Krishna. Prabhupada, you are great. No, my Guru Maharaj is great. Sastrakar. No, Sabha. Our Krishnadas Maharaj. He would eat only, he would carry a skull and he would eat Ganga mud, as Yamuna's mud, as Ganga's mud. Our Krishnadas, you are great. No. Jagannath Das was. Bhaktivinoda. No. Jagannath. No. Likewise, finally go to, Madhavendra Puri. He'll go to Madhavacharya. Madhavacharya, no. He'll go to Nardamani. Nardamani, no. So finally, he'll go to what? Radharani. So, not even a speck of desire, but wants to serve Krishna 24/7. Everyone, but that much intense in service.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Ah,
Prabhuji, you said Kama Rupa, right? Is that the word you used? What is the word you used for Gopi's Bhava?
Amma, see, it's there. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, this is mentioned in the scriptures, but that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this just to show the intensity that word is used, but it is actually prema. Many times I felt it, why it is not prema. Even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also uses the word kama. But what he does, he gives the definition. Atmendriya, Tara vancha bale kama. What is kama? You want to satisfy your senses. In this world, everyone is concerned about satisfying his senses or her senses. Yes or no? Hey, he became famous, but I should become famous too. अरे he ate 20 gulab jamuns. अरे मेरे को at least एक तो मिलना चाहिए. Yes or no? So always, actually, there is a devotee named Anuttama Prabhu. I don't know how many of you know. ISKCON communications minister. He said, there is a famous TV called WITFM. FM TV. What is that FM TV? What is there in it for me? What is the TV name? What is there in it for me? Prabhuji got Nobel Prize. Why I didn't get Nobel Prize? What is there in it for me? Rath Yatra was amazing. I know my friend went there. He told me. He called me. It is very good. So always you want to connect to that one. Always what is there in it? What is it called? Kama. Yeah. One day one mother came and said, I am writing letters to my son. These are American conversation actually. Mata is American, son is American. My son is not responding at all. I put him in the college, but he's not responding. So uncle said, don't worry. I'll find out why he's not responding. And uncle wrote a letter. My dear John, how are you doing? Your mother is very concerned that you're not responding to her letters. I'm also very concerned how you're doing. By the way, and please find attached $100 bill, $100 check, and use it for your expenses. Your loving uncle, Peter. Less than 2 days, reply comes. Uncle Peter, I'm doing very well. Yeah, I'm very busy. That's why I'm not responding to my mother and to you. Thank you very much for your wonderful letter. By the way, I saw there is a check, but I don't see any check enclosed. Can you make sure you send the check? Everyone is listening?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So what is there in it for me? When you are like me with 16 to 20, youthful, about my mother is always, always, what did you eat? Did you sleep? But $50, sense enjoyment. Thoda maja mil raha hai. Immediate response. How many of you agree? He said this in the communication seminar. You're understanding? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, no, that's why the intensity, to show the intensity, to show the intensity, you're very hungry. Somebody comes, there is no battery. Thank God. You're very hungry and you're about to eat. Somebody comes, your phone call, somebody wants some advice. What will you say? After 20 minutes, right now, you're focused, right? So, Atmendriya Priti, Taravancha Bale Kama. Kama means you want to satisfy your senses. What is prema? Krishnendriya Priti Ichadare Prema Nama. If you want to satisfy Krishna's senses, that is prema. Just to see the intensity with which gopis want to serve, it is called kama. But they have that much intensity to serve Krishna without even having a speck of desire for them. Wow! 3 times terrible to gopis.
Hari Bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol,
Amazing, right?
Hari bol.
Even that is not there, even compare, what is that? That's the difference between even Krishna's queens and gopis. No, it's not there. We cannot, at a conditioned stage like this, we do not know. How many of you think it's amazing? Amazing is amazing. Do you know, is there anything higher than that? No, there is nothing higher than that. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says lust means iron, but love means gold. Lust means iron, love means gold. In lust, you want to satisfy your senses. Once it is satisfied, you leave. But in love, you want to satisfy the opposite party. Even though there are so many problems to leave the relationship, still you continue with the full motive to please other party. That is called prema. The end story of Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions this. What is the difference? Difference is only in motivation. If you want to tell, I can tell the story of the last verse of the last story of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But it has nothing to do it has anything to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with wife and husband or leprosy or anything, but only to tell to what extent love is repulsed. Anyway, I'll tell the story later. But gopis, their love for Krishna, by comparing with our lust, we can see how gopis had most consuming and overwhelming urge to please Krishna. That much they have strong desire. Anyway, I'll tell the story. Should I tell?
Please, Prabhuji.
And the story, there is a beginning 2 lines. It has nothing to anything, doesn't have anything to do with wife and husband, doesn't have anything to do with leprosy, but the story is actually wife and husband. So one chaste lady was there. She had a husband. He had all the bad habits. This husband had all the bad habits. Because of that, he contracted leprosy. Leprosy, so in the leprosy, when you're sick, naturally become angry. So the husband would give, she would chastise his wife left and right. But wife loved husband. In that village, there is a prostitute. He said, before I die, I want to enjoy that prostitute. So wife said, all right. She's chaste wife. She wants to please her husband. So, but she doesn't have money. To enjoy that prostitute, you need to pay 100,000 rupees those days. 1 lakh, laksha hira. You have to give 100,000 gold coins. So this lady, she would go every day in the morning and clean that area. Mop the floor, everything. One day Lakshira got up, somebody's cleaning every day my home, my porch. And so he got up early, she saw this lady. She asked, why are you doing it every day and, cleaning my, my front portion and decorating nicely? She said, I have a desire. So I have a request. I wanted to fulfill that. That's why I'm doing it. She says, no, fine, very good. You're so selfless. I can do that. What is that? I have a husband. He's a leper. And, he wants to enjoy you. But I don't have money. But that is his wish. That's why I'm trying to please. She was shocked. Oh, you're such a chaste wife you're trying to fulfill. Bring him. Because of you, I'll satisfy. So she put him in a basket. And she was taking the husband. This guy, they was putting his legs outside. On the way, On the way, there were sages called Valakilyas. They were doing tapasya, head down, feet up, hanging onto the branch. So they would put their legs to the branch and head down, and they would meditate. So this Prabhu, his legs went and touched the heads of the sages. They looked at him. You are such a sense enjoyer. You're a burden to this world. You're giving so much trouble to your wife. And we are simply meditating, and you kick on our head. We curse you. You'll, by tomorrow morning, first sunshine, you will die. Your head will crack into pieces. She heard that. Are you caused my husband to death? I love him. I'm chaste. First sunray, when he touches my husband, his head will crack into death. She said, I'll say, then sun will not rise, she said. What happened? She said, sun will not rise. Sun was going, suddenly sun stopped. He couldn't move because of her chastity. When sun doesn't move, everything came to a standstill. Then anyway, everyone came and pacified them. Pacified her, please. You should not stop like this. All right, release the sun. But then if you protect my husband, then I'll release the sun. All right, when the sun comes out, he'll die to fulfill their benediction. But we'll bring him back to life. We'll release the sun. She released the sun. The moral is not wife and husband relationship here. What is the moral?
Love.
There's anything you are ready to do anything to please the object that you love. More or less, this person is a competitor to her. Radharani says, actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says just before quoting our Sikshashtakam, I can go to any gopi if that gopi gives maximum pleasure to Krishna, higher pleasure. I have no problem to become her servant maid, because that Krishna finds happiness in her. Amazing, right? How many of you listen? So, because that is the intensity with which Radharan loves Krishna, because the intensity is there, it's called Kama Praya. It's called Kama Rupa. So not Praya, sorry. Kama. But actually it is a pure love. Understanding? That's why Uddhava said, the topmost love you see in this world is a Krishna's love. I'm sorry, Gopi's love. Ramya Kajite Pasana Vrajavadu Vargena Yakalpita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he stayed in Gambhira, ladies should not even enter to his room. They should come to the. How many of you been to Gambhira? You've been in Gambhira. Ladies are not allowed to enter into his room. Outside, offer obeisance and go. That strict sannyasi Lord Chaitanya, he approved Gopis worship for Krishna by saying, Ramya Kajit Pasana Vrajavadu Vargene Kalpita. One should worship the way Gopis worship Krishna. Okay? Yes or no? So one more, sorry. So who is like Nardamuni, right? Nardamuni, that story. Who is the topmost devotee? Gopis want to go to hell eternally to relieve Krishna's headache for 15 minutes. That is what is called a prema. What is prema? Gopis want to go to hell eternally to please, to relieve Krishna's headache. Is there anything higher than that? Anybody? Huh? Is there anything higher than that? That's why you all settled here, you are intelligent. Yesterday somebody came, I go this temple this day, this temple this day. We help, Okay, to begin with, that's fine. Prabhupada says there are so many primary schools, kindergarten schools, but PhD offering universities are very few. What is ISKCON? What is our bhakti? PhD. How many of you agree ours is like postdoc and PhD? There's nothing higher than that. And then what about Kubja? What about Kubja? Who is Kubja? Kubja, Krishna was going with Balramji. He was going on the streets of Mathura. Balramji said, Krishna said, we want clothes now. So washerman, he was going, hey washerman, we want clothes. See, Mukunda tells this to Lord Chaitanya actually. This washerman performed so many pious activities just to come in front of Krishna. But he doesn't have a desire to serve Krishna. So what he did, he spoke angrily again. You guys are asking clothes. These clothes are meant for King Kamsa. You should deserve first. Balramji said, this is the guy you spoke, bad about Sita in the previous life. Krishna did like this, cut off his head. That's why one should not try to see Krishna. One should serve Krishna in such a way, Krishna should come and see us. But unlike the washerman, Kubja looked at Krishna, wow, Krishna was so beautiful. Actually, when I read first time this 10th canto, how many of you fainted seeing somebody's beauty? Did you faint? When Krishna was walking, so many ladies fainted seeing that beauty. Somebody came onto the upstairs, because Krishna was going on the way, on pathway. When they saw Krishna, they found that much beautiful Krishna was. So Kubja saw Krishna and Balram. Kubja was instantly attracted to Krishna. And she was a hunchback lady. And Krishna said, so she was carrying the ground pulp, chandan, she was carrying chandan to Maharaj Kamsa. When she saw Krishna, she was attracted to the beauty. She gave the entire chandan to Krishna and Balram. That guy couldn't do, but Kubja did. She made the entire chandan to Krishna. Take it, take it. She didn't care that time what will happen, That is Ajnat. That is a good thing she did. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes, Kubja was hunchback. She was bent. Kubja was actually a representation of Earth's energy. Kubja was a representation of Bhumi Shakti. Because these demons came and crushed. They were trying to crush Earth with their forces. Kubja being a representation of Earth's energy, Bhumi Shakti, she was hunchback like that. Krishna came to rectify the situation, right? What Krishna did? Krishna was very happy. She did the service. She put his fingers underneath their chin and put her leg on her leg, and like this she lifted. Just by Krishna's touch, she became a beautiful lady. But her affection for Krishna was Kama Praya, not Kamarupa. It was almost, though it resembled Krishna, Gopi's love, no, she had a desire. Bhagavatam says one should not look for that. Kama Praya. So Gopis, is Kubja same as Gopis? No. Because it's almost mundane. It is a mundane love. No. So that's why we don't compare Kubja's love with the Gopi's love. I have one question for everyone here. Should I ask? Surpanaka also longed for Ram. Why Surpanaka name did not come here? Ma?
She just wanted to serve Ram. She doesn't wanted to serve devotees.
she wanted to self-gratification for herself. She doesn't want to serve.
There are pujas corresponded to Krishna, like offering what she has.
Why Surpanaka name doesn't come?
She has hatred for Sita Maya, Prabhuji, along with having love for Ram. So in this case, Kubja, I don't think that case. She didn't hate.
Prabhuji, she was not exclusively attracted to Lord Ram. When Lord Ram denied, she went to Lakshman. So she was not exclusively attracted to Lord Ram.
That is the answer. That is the answer. You know, if not Ram, Lakshman. If not Lakshman, somebody, but gopis are not like that. That's why we don't drink Surpanaka here. It is a, understanding, right? Say 3 times Haribol, 2 9 Sundaram. Haribol,
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol.
What is that? If not Walmart, Target. If not Target, something else. So basically, she wants to enjoy. When Ram said, "Not me, Lakshman, all right. If okay, let me settle for a little less." Little Lakshman told, okay, settle, go somewhere else. She will go next. That's why she doesn't come anywhere. The other reasons are all secondary. This is the prime reason. Gopis were willing to, Narayana and Krishna tested them in his Narayana form. Everyone knew Narayana is God. No one knew Krishna is God. Young boy, young girl. So it appears there's a, that's why it's called Kamarupa, but it is not. Attraction is there to show that, but it's intense love. To what extent they showed their love? Narayan, my Lord, thank you, Dandavat. Where is Krishna? Yes or no? What is the second place they showed their love? Narada Muni went and said, Krishna is having a headache. Oh, really? Are you load eternal if you give this dust? No problem. We all come to the temple, we all chant because we don't want to go to hell. Practically everyone in this world. Church or synagogue or mosque, ISKCON temple, that temple, ISKCON devotees, there are so many advanced devotees, no doubt. Or other Hindu temples. Yes or no? Why people go to temple? One of the reasons should be or could be to avoid hell. But they want to go to hell. Right? So, what chapter is over or what? So, what is that? Surpanaka doesn't come here. Anyone has any question or comment? That's why, what is that? Today, let me summarize. Kamsa and Shishpal, their bhakti is not, it's not bhakti, it's pratikula. They merged in Brahman effulgence. But gopis and Yadus and Pandavas, that is Anukula. That's what they, that type of thing. What is it? Back to Godhead. They went back to Godhead. And Ragatmika Bhakti is 2 types, sensual attraction and relationship. Relationship, example, if Vrishni is in Yashoda. Yashoda is the mother. Vrishnis are all connected to Krishna as family members. So lust means you want to satisfy your senses. Love means you want to satisfy Krishna's senses. Because of the intensity, it is called lust. But Gopis' love is pure love. This is approved by Uddhava, approved by Lord Chaitanya. How Uddhava approved this? Anyone can guess. How did Uddhava approve Gopis' love? Can anyone guess? Huh?
He wanted to become a speck of dust at their feet.
Amazing. This is Pushpanjali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
3 times Haribol to Mataji. Haribol.
Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol.
Kallataushadinam. So when he saw that, I am Krishna, eats with Uddhava, Krishna jokes with Uddhava, Krishna intimate is a person, anybody intimate in Dwaraka is Uddhava. But Uddhava, when he saw this, they're talking as though Krishna left yesterday. I don't have this type of bhakti. But he is like a prince and they're like simple village ladies. If he asks them to put their heads on his put their feet on his head, they may run away. So then he worshipped Krishna and he worshipped Krishna and Krishna came, what do you want, Uddhava? Krishna, my Lord, make me a creeper in Kusum Sarovar. The Kusum Sarovar, every day gopis go to pluck the flowers. There Uddhava is there in the form of Gulmalata. The creeper, every day gopis step on it. Wow. For those who want to become free from envy, Uddhava should be the good example. Because somebody is better than us, we become envious. That is the nonsense. We all have envy actually. So who should be your example? Uddhava. Amazing. Uddhava was not envious, rather he appreciated them. And he wanted to become servant of them. That's how they appreciate their bhakti. In Lord, second is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, we should worship the way gopis worship the Krishna. In fact, our worship is, in the mood of gopis. What is our worship? Everything Krishna. Janmashtami, fasting. Lord Chaitanya told Rupa Goswami to write books. How to celebrate festivals, how to do sadhana. Right? So Lord Chaitanya approved gopis worship. Amazing. Any question or comment? And I also said Kubjas is almost mundane love, not like gopis love. It is almost metal. Bhagavatam says we should not ask that type of things. Because Krishna can bestow the ultimate love. Any question or comment, otherwise we'll end it.
Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam, I have one small question. Prabhuji, Dasya Rasa comes under Raganuga Bhakti or Vedic Bhakti? Prabhuji?
What do you think?
I don't know, Prabhuji.
So we'll ask this question to you. Okay, I told about Ragatmika only. I didn't tell Raganuga. So what is the difference? I have to explain. So can I take 1 more minute on this? Ragatmika means spontaneous love. This type of love is seen in Rajavasis. If you want to attain that love, you have to follow one of the Rajavasis. If you want to worship Krishna in the mood of Dasyaras, you have to follow the footsteps of Raktak Chitra Patrak. Because they have spontaneous love for Krishna in Dasyaras. If you want to follow, Anuga means follower. Anuga means follow. So you want Raga Bhakti means you should follow those who have Raga Bhakti. Then that is called Raganuga Bhakti. Everyone is understanding? You want to attain Raga Bhakti, you should follow those people who have Raga Bhakti. Who have Raga Bhakti? Rajavasis. So if you want to attain Raga Bhakti in the mood of servitorship, Dasyaras, you should follow Raktak Chitra Patrak. That is Raganuga Bhakti in the mood of Dasyaras. If you want to follow Raga Bhakti in the mood of servant, friend, you should follow the footsteps of who?
Arjuna, Gopals.
If you follow, again three, there are 3 areas. In the Vrajabhakti, what is the Krishna means? Golok Vrindavan means what? It has 3 planets, 3 places. What? Dwaraka, Mathura, and Vrindavan. If you focus on Vrindavan, then you should follow the footsteps of Sridama, Sudama, Madhimangal, Stok Krishna, Varadappa, Arjun, Vishal, all the Gopas, Krishna's friends. Mathura means mother of friends, Uddhav. Dwarka means, actually Arjun, they all come in Dwarka actually, Hastinapur. If you want to follow Raga Bhakti in the mood of Vatsalya, whom should we follow? Whose footsteps?
Nanda
Yashoda,
Baba, Yashodamaya.
Nanda Maharaj, the elderly Gopas, elderly Gopis, Prabhavati, wonderful else. Upananda, right? Then you want to follow Raga Bhakti in the mood of Mathurya Ras. Whom should we follow? Radharani. For our things, Rupamanjari. Saraswati Thakur would sing this song. What is that? Sri Rupa Manjari Sada Ei Mura Sampada. So under Gopis, who is the topmost in this Mathurya Ras? Radharani. Another person, can you tell Radha about Radharani? Radharani, under Radharani there are Ashtasakis, 8. And under, under Ashtasakis, there are so many Sakis, of course. Main Ashtasakis. Under that, Upasakis. Under that, Manjaris. Under that, Upamanjari. Who is that, our Manjari? Rupamanjari, Rupa Goswami. He is a prime. Rupamanjari is under Lalita Sakhi. Right? So under Manjaris, Upamanjaris. Right? So under Upamanjaris, everybody will come. All these positions are occupied. So we don't want to become, what to speak of becoming one with Krishna. We don't want to become any one of these things. So if you want to follow Raga Bhakti in the mood of Mathurya Ras, you follow the footsteps of these people. Radharani, Ashtasakis, or Manjaris. Right? That is what is called Raganuga Bhakti. How many of you understood? Sagar Prabhu, you understood here clear now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So what is the Bhakti Vrajavasis follow? Ragatmika Bhakti, or simply Raga Bhakti. But if you want to follow them to learn that, it is called Raga Anuga Bhakti. Anuga means what? Followers. We are Rupanugas, means what? We follow Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. Who are we? Rupanugas. We follow Rupa Goswami or Rupa Manjari. Understanding or not? Any question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a small question, if you have time.
Yes, Amma. Finish it.
Prabhuji, so is Krishna in his baby form, is he there in Goloka, or is he there in baby form only in the material world when they do pastimes?
Krishna is, so you have a question now, I have developed this Vatsalya Ras when I go to Gokula, go like Kotla. Krishna is there, it's there. So they're all, eternal Leelas, Nitya Leela.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. That's the question you have to. So all these things are there. So, I should have practiced bhakti billion years ago. Then Krishna was small. Now, and not like that. They're all there. Right? One lecture I heard, Krishna says, in Golak Vrindavan, He'll come back in 3 days. He'll come back in 3 days. He'll not make you wait 100 years. Like, any other question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it now. Should we end it? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Prabhu Goswami Pad ki
Jai.
Lord Devotion ki
Jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Dhanavad Pranamam. Thank you.